What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about an all new flagship smartphone, the OnePlus 12. Amongst all the new phones being released recently, the OnePlus 12 has generated a ton of buzz and may just be a contender for the phone of the year. Now, there are a lot of in-depth reviews of the OnePlus 12 already, especially a super in-depth review on the specs and features from Mr. Who's the Boss, which I definitely recommend watching. So for my video, I want to talk about some features that are not mentioned by most reviewers and that I personally find super cool. So stick around as we unpack everything it has to offer, from the screen to the battery and of course that camera setup. And for everyone who is watching my channel for the first time, I'm a full-time videographer and producer. So having a smartphone with good cameras is very important for me, as it could benefit my workflow. So hopefully with this background, I am able to provide some new perspectives for you. Now, before we jump in, for full disclosure purposes, OnePlus lent me this phone for review. I don't get to keep it. No money's changed hands, and OnePlus does not get any input on this video's production or get to preview it before it is posted. I also don't have a sponsor, but if any of you guys want to sponsor me, it'll be cool. So you're about to hear all of my most honest opinions. First, let's talk numbers. In a world where flagship phones are pushing well above the $12,000 mark, the OnePlus 12 slides in at $799. That's right, less than 800 bucks. It's a bold move from OnePlus, undercutting much of the competition without skimping on the essentials. Can it hold its own against the heavyweights? Let's find out. OnePlus has always had a flair for design, and the OnePlus 12 is no exception. I really like the back design, especially how the metal frame wraps around the camera housing. This design was continued from the OnePlus 11, so I guess OnePlus has found the design language and is sticking with it. The build quality is very solid, weighing in at 220 grams, and the materials used feel like what a flagship smartphone should feel like. Expensive. I personally really like the focal length and f-stop markings in the camera housing because it just brings that much more of a pro feeling to the Hasselblad partnership. But I do have one gripe with the back material though. I love the matte black finish, and no matter how you touch it, you cannot get your fingerprints on it, but it's just so slippery. Whenever I hold the phone, I feel like I have to grip it so tight, or at least have one finger wrapped around each side of the phone just to stop it from sliding off. To solve this problem, a simple phone case would do the trick, so it's not that big of a problem, but I do wish it was less slippery just by itself. And I absolutely love the alert slider on the side. I have never used a phone with one of these, but after experiencing it, I don't think I can live without it. It's just so convenient to have a physical button on the side where you can just change the settings directly without having to get into the phone, turn on the settings, and set it from there. And on top of that, there is an IR blaster on the top of the phone, which can be very useful if you want to use your phone as remote control for your TV or house appliances. Kinda cool. Now, this is where the OnePlus 12 really shines. Quite literally. It has the all-new 2K 120Hz Pro XDR display with LTPO plus hyper rendering and hyper touch. The new blue diamond pixel layout of the screen, together with single pixel calibration technology, allows the OnePlus 12 to reach peak 4,500 nits in HDR mode and 1,600 nits in high brightness mode. It's like having a piece of the sun in your pocket. I have no problem using this phone outdoors, in bright sunlight at all, where other phones in the same conditions will struggle. And with the display's LTPO technology, it can automatically adjust the refresh rate from 1 Hz to 120 Hz on the fly depending on the contents on the screen. For instance, when swiping to switch from a game to an ebook, the refresh rate and touch response will drop from 120 Hz to 10 Hz. It works the other way around too. If you suddenly need to jump into a conference call, the refresh rate will automatically switch to 60 Hz. What I really love about this display is its super high pulse width modulation, or PWM dimming, at 2160 Hz. This reduces the screen flicker when you lower the screen brightnesses, so when you're scrolling your phone in bed or in dim environments, it minimizes eye strain over long periods of time. There's a lot of hate going around the curved display right now, but I personally like it a lot. Yes, it is vulnerable to getting damage from the sides, but I feel it is perfect for me when I'm using the gestures options for the system navigation. My fingers just slide from the sides of the screen with the curve, and it personally just feels better for me this way. And on top of all this, the new Aqua Touch feature is really cool. It allows you to still have control and touch sensitivity, even if there was water on the screen. Whereas with any other smartphone, you would have to first wipe the screen clean before you can get any proper feedback. And this comes in so useful when I'm cooking or washing the dishes and I have to switch a podcast, or when I'm on the beach or at a pool and my hands are wet. It's a feature I didn't know I needed, but it just makes so much sense and makes the whole user experience that much better. And speaking of the system navigations, the OnePlus 12 Oxygen OS is back with its customizability we've come to love. System cloner, app locking, and a suite of other features gives you control without the need of third-party apps. Powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, which prioritizes battery life without skimping on performance, it's a delicate balance, and OnePlus seems to have nailed it with the OnePlus 12. And now, onto the battery life. With its 4,500 mAh battery and 80 watt power brick, you can charge this from 0 to 50% in just 12 minutes and get it fully charged in less than 30 minutes. OnePlus has always been known for their optimized hardware and software compatibility, and combined, I've been able to use this phone for an entire day on one charge, with more power left for the next day, and only needing a quick charge in the morning before I get going. It just gives me so much confidence to carry out my works on set without having to worry that my phone will die midway through the day. Now, let's take a look at the cameras, which is a make or break for many people, including myself. The front camera element houses a 50 megapixel wide camera with Sony's new LYT-808 image sensor. It has an aperture of f1.6 and a 23mm equivalent focal length, which is great for street photography or medium shots. Next is a 64 megapixel 3x periscope telephoto camera with an aperture of f2.6 and a 70mm equivalent focal length, which is great for portraits and up-close subject photography. And a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera with an aperture of f2.2 and a 14mm equivalent focal length. This allows you to capture ultra-wide landscape shots as well as super close macro photographies at up to 3.5 centimeters away from your subject. My favorite camera to use is the 3x periscope camera. Because of the focal length, it really emphasizes the subject in the frame, and it also has a very nice bokeh and background compression when it comes to subject isolation. There's also a mode that I find really unique and brings out the collaboration between OnePlus and Hasselblad, and that is the X-Pan mode. For people who are into film photography, the X-Pan cameras are a cult following. And in this mode, you can shoot 17mm and 25mm photos in the classic 2.7:1 aspect ratio, which is very close to the 2.4:1 aspect ratio seen in cinematic movies. This feature is really great for capturing photos that you want to tell a story with. And it even has the film negative animation when you take a photo, which is quite cool, but a little bit of a gimmick. Moving on, the front camera is a 32 megapixel wide camera at a 21mm equivalent focal length. In good lighting conditions, this camera can perform quite well, but it definitely can be improved on since at times it will be off in exposure and the skin tones could look a little bit washed out. Regarding video features, OnePlus has been known to lack in this area, but the OnePlus 12 is a big improvement compared to its predecessors. You can record an 8K video at 24 frames per second, 4K 1080 or 720p video at 30 or 60 frames per second, ultra steady video at 1080p 60 frames per second, Pro mode at 4K 30 frames per second, and slow-mo video at 1080, 240 or 480 frames per second. In normal lighting conditions, it isn't actually quite bad. You can capture good videos with the 3 cameras, but with all smartphone cameras, they are limited by their sensor sizes when it comes to low light performance, and the OnePlus 12 is no exception. Overall, I think for everyday use and casual photo and video shooting, the OnePlus 12 is a good option, though there is still definitely room to improve on and to optimize in future models. With videos and sounds, the OnePlus 12 also supports dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, so the sound coming from it is very good as well. So there you have it. I personally think the OnePlus 12 is a phone that manages to stand out in an increasingly overcrowded market. It's not just the price point that's competitive, it's literally the whole package. Sure, it's not without its flaws. The camera could use some tuning, and the slipperiness might be a turnoff for some people. But when you weigh in the display, the battery life, and those unique OnePlus touches, it's clear that this phone is more than just a budget-friendly option. It's a statement that great phones don't need to cost $1,000. Thank you all for watching my review on the OnePlus 12. If you've enjoyed this review and found it helpful, please consider dropping a like and subscribing for more videos. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos too. Until next time, see you.